County, it's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. And he is Rob Heinrich, Indiana Area Superintendent. I'm hoping the computer wakes up. There it goes. Let me reintroduce him. Rob Heinrich, Indiana Area School District Superintendent, with us. Our visit this morning presented by Marcus & Mack, voted Best Law Firm and Best Personal Injury Lawyer 3 years in a row in the Best of Indiana County contest. Visit them online at marcusandmack.com. Probably not a lot of people know that you personally shovel the walks at every one of those schools in order to make sure that school gets underway on schedule. That's actually a good place to start our conversation this morning. Indiana County schools, most of them with 2-hour delays today. Indiana area is on schedule, so no delays there. There's a lot that goes into that decision-making process, and more than one person involved.
Oh, there are dozens of people involved, and I'm glad you asked, because it is something that literally keeps us up in the middle of the night. We start at 4:50 a.m. On the phone with the bus companies, with the township supervisors, with the borough supervisors, with the maintenance directors, and the guys that are out shoveling our sidewalks and plowing our driveways, as well as the superintendents all talk to each other in the early hours of the morning to try to figure out what's the best decision to keep everybody safe and make sure we balance that safety with getting kids to school on time and making sure that everyone can go to work. And so it's a big decision we definitely don't take lightly, and there are literally dozens of people involved. And some days you make the right call, and some days you don't. But usually we all work really well together and make the best decision.
Well, you look outside and you say, "Oh, Philadelphia Street looks great, so the school should be on." But Philadelphia Street's not the only street.
It's not Shalakta, right? Yeah. Exactly. So it's a world of difference from one side of the district to the other, and the buses go on a bunch of different roads that a lot of us never travel on. So we have a lot of people that have to weigh in. And like I said, we get everybody, all hands on deck to make the best decision we can, because hours matter. The students need to be in school as much as they can, and we're cognizant of that. And we also understand that our decision affects the economy locally, because parents have to go to work and or arrange childcare for their children. So it's definitely something we take very seriously. And, we're constantly looking at weather reports. And then you have little squalls that come through right before the buses go out that aren't on the radar, so it's a really difficult decision to make, but it's definitely one we have a team effort on.
Tell me about remote learning and whether that is ever considered as a possibility or what goes into that consideration.
That's another great question. In Indiana Area School District, we do not believe in flexible instruction days, which is our remote learning option. That's what they're called in the state. We believe to put the snow days in the calendar, because we believe students learn best when they're in person, engaged in that routine, and getting that direct instruction from our teachers. COVID taught us that students do not learn as well. Most students do not learn as well online. That was definitely a lesson we took from COVID. So, and again, that puts a strain on the parents, and it puts a strain on the economy when we say, hey, not only are we going to be closed, but we expect the kids to learn online, and here's your allotted time. Sometimes they're with grandma who doesn't have internet or doesn't really navigate Google so well. And you have first and second graders who are still trying to learn how to read, trying to navigate that with people who are not their direct primary caregivers. So anytime we can avoid the flexible instruction days, we will. We'll have traditional snow days. Yeah. We'll reserve those for if we run out of snow days and we're looking at moving graduation into the middle of June, then we'll use those if at all. When an emergency, we'll break that glass, Yeah.
Rob Heinrich, Superintendent, Indiana Area School District, with us here this morning. It's January. You enter into what, might not technically be the second half of the school year in terms of half the days on one side and half the days on the other, but still, we look at January as the second half of the school year.
Absolutely.
And so that's going on, but you still have positions that you're interviewing for, and that happens all year long.
It really does. That's something that goes on. We're going to spend a lot of January in the boardroom doing some interviews. Our second in command, Justin Zahorchak, has moved on to bigger and brighter things, hopefully, for him, and so our director of education position is open. We're going to start interviewing for that. We also have substitute teachers. Teachers go on leave, so we have a couple of interviews for long-term subs to cover those. And we have the head football coach interviews starting this this week, actually this morning.
Yeah.
So it's a busy January as far as getting all that done. But
the rumors are flying too.
I'm
with
sure
that
they
football
are.
coach.
I'm sure they are. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting process, and I think we have some really good candidates. So we look forward to seeing how that turns out.
I gotta ask. I know you're not going to answer, but I gotta ask. You gonna float any names out there for us?
I am not even involved. So I trust, we have a great athletic director. Dan Roan has done a great job. He and Wade McElhaney and Doug Johnson are going to spearhead that effort to find the next football coach. And, I think they're going to I trust them to make it the right decision. So I don't even really know who all applied. I'm told that there are great candidates.
You mentioned substitute teachers and hiring substitute teachers. I think people might be surprised who qualifies to be a substitute teacher in today's school environment. It's different than it used to be.
Absolutely. And basically anybody with any kind of college degree can apply to be a guest teacher in our buildings. So if you're out there and you're you're looking for a job, you want to give back to the community, you always wanted to work with kids but just never really got started, and you have a degree, you can contact Amy O'Neill at our office, or you can go on our ISD website, isd.cc, and go to the HR page. We work with a company called Kelly Services, who will vet you, help you through the application process, train you, and then you'll meet with our principals, and it will be it's a relatively easy process to get involved. And we're always looking for great substitute teachers. So it's a great part-time job. If you're a stay-at-home mom that, has the kids are now just getting back into school and you're looking to get back into the workforce on your terms, it's a great way to get started.
Someone might say, but there are those clearances we hear that we have to get, and that seems like a hassle to go after those.
It can be, but the clearances, we will help you pay for them, and they are actually a lot easier nowadays with the online applications. They come through much more quickly. They used to be paper and pencil, and you had to fill out these ridiculously long forms. You can do that all online now, and they're relatively simple to get through. So.
Yeah. Mentioned the football coach. We were talking about that. The basketball teams and the other winter sports, they're going strong right now. January, that's prime season for them.
It really is. They're in full swing now. The basketball teams are doing great. The girls are in first place in our division, which is fantastic. The boys are getting things rolling. They had a couple of tough games to start the year against some big schools, but they're really finding their stride now, and I think they're going to be fine. Wrestling, we had a couple of guys set records. We had, the kid that hit the 100th win.
Carter Putt.
Yeah, exactly. He had his 100th victory. And then
Nico did it earlier.
And Nico did it earlier in the year, and then he had the best finish in that conference, in that tournament, the national tournament. Yeah, that any Indiana wrestler has ever done. So, simply outstanding. And then not to mention swimming, who continues to just dominate. So, we have some really good winter programs, and we're really proud of the work those kids are doing.
Good stuff going on there.
Absolutely.
Let's head up the street here to Eisenhower Elementary, find out what's going on with that.
Yeah, well, the construction continues. There have been a couple of delays, but nothing that's critical. So the target for completion was the end of January, early February, and now that completion is where they come back to us, and then there's another month of little touch-ups here and there. But we seem to be a little bit behind, but not too far. So we expect to easily be open this spring, and have no problems moving the students in there in the fall. So we're excited about where that's going. So this spring we're going to have a retirement party for Horace Mann, and send the old girl off in style. And, we're looking forward to moving those students into Eisenhower. It should be a great school when it's all done.
Do you take the Eisenhower school out for a road test in some way?
What do you mean?
Well, just once the school opens, make sure that everything is functioning smoothly and the building is working well the way you intended to.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we actually go through with the contractors before they leave and test the systems, and then in the summertime we're actually going to have summer programming there. So before the school year kicks off in earnest, we'll have students and professionals working in that building in the summer testing things out. So, and like I said, we're excited about that completion because it's, our students deserve to be in great facilities, and we think it's going to be a great facility when it's all said and done.
Yeah, it's been a while. When you think about when the fire occurred a few years ago, and it's hard to believe, how long it has been.
Yeah.
But when you think about that and the process that the school district went through to arrive at the solution that eventually was undertaken, happy with that process and the idea that you decided that let's just go with as state of the art as we can get and take our time with this and get it right.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm very happy that we're coming to the end of this journey. I'll say that much. Did we get every single thing we wanted? No, but we have to balance taxpayers' dollars and use them the most effective way possible. So I'm happy with a lot of the things that we got, and I really am excited about what that building could become for Indiana Area School District. So it's been a long journey. There's been a lot of bumps in the road, but it's going to be worthwhile in the end.
Absolutely. All right. So Rob Heinrich, Superintendent, Indiana Area Schools, with us here this morning. We had you here recently talking about the Indiana Area Education Foundation.
Yes, sir.
Give me an update. What's going on with
They're
that?
actually starting to make some waves here. We're moving forward. We've had a couple of really successful events. We've raised some significant money. Now we're able to give back. They've been able to pay for a couple of trips for some kids. And recently we had an anonymous donor who wanted to help out something in STEM and career tech, and they were able to purchase toolkits for the Indiana area students who go to ICTC, who are in the machine shop, and they need micrometers and some really technical tools that are very, very expensive. And when they go into the real world and the workforce, they're expected to have these and provide them. Well, the Indiana Area Foundation was able to provide those for our students, which gives them a head start on life, which is nice to see. It's those things that aren't in the normal budget that really affect students, and it adds value, and really proud of the work they're doing as well.
It's really the way that foundations are designed to work, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's really nice to see it come together and see them help those kids. It's outstanding.
Yeah. So good things happening at the school district and around the school district, and the snow continues to fall, and you have to go spread some salt.
I probably do. I probably have something to shovel, or No, we do have a great team, and I do want to give a shout out to those maintenance guys who get up long before the sun to make sure that the sidewalks are safe and the driveways are plowed and everything is ready to go. So there's a lot of guys and girls behind the scenes that do some incredible work, and you might not ever know their names, but we're very, very proud of them.
You know what? I said this the other day. When you finish a basketball game and all the fans go home and the teams are shuffling out of the gym, and usually the broadcasters are the last people to leave, with one exception, and that's the custodians who are going through every seat in the stands. They're cleaning up. And before they leave that building at night, you know that they have it absolutely sparkling for the next day. And you multiply that by a number of different sports and a number of different concerts and things of that nature. And those folks work really, really hard to make it a really nice school.
They really do. And we have a great team of people that go, and Dave Bright and Rob Peace have done a great job making them the very, very best at what they do. So thank you to all of those people.
You betcha, and thank you for coming in to visit with us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it every time.
He's Rob Heinrich, Indiana Area School District Superintendent. It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, 101.1 FM, AM 1160.